So let me check the microphone setting if it is, yes, it is correct. Okay, it is absolutely correct. So guys, first of all, thank you for joining this podcast and thank you everybody. Let's begin. So today's topic is actually a very interesting topic, by the way. Okay, the topic is why you understand English but you cannot speak. That's the topic. Okay, why you understand English आपल्याला समजतं कळतं आपल्याला पण आपण बोलू शकत नाही. Okay, that's the topic and it's very interesting. I know majority of you will agree with me. By the end of this topic, by the end of the podcast, you will be able to understand that what's the bigger challenge and you will start working on your challenges. Okay, so have you, my question is like, let's start with the question that have you ever experienced is that you're watching an English movie. Okay, you understand most of it, right? You are listening to your manager, you understand almost all of it, everything, whatever your manager is speaking, you understand all of that. You read emails, you understand that email, right? But the moment someone asks you, can you explain your opinion? Okay, everything changes. Everything changes. The question is, how is that possible? If you understand English, why can't you speak it? If you understand, why can't you speak it? That's the biggest question. Doesn't that sound strange? Let me tell you. Let me tell you the answer. Okay, the answer is the biggest misunderstanding everybody has is that people think that understanding English, okay, and speaking English are the same skills. That's what they think. Do you agree with me? They think understanding and speaking is the same thing. They are not. By the way, they are completely different skills. Understanding is nothing but recognizing it. Okay? And speaking is basically creation. When you understand something, your brain is understanding, you are recognizing. Okay, समझ में आ गया. And when you're speaking, you have to create that and then you speak. That is the difference. Okay? Let me give you a very simple example. Let's say, for example, imagine that someone gives you a puzzle. जो अपना एक puzzle होता है, आपला जे puzzle असतं ना ते puzzle. Somebody gives you that puzzle. Okay, when it's already completed, okay, you can easily understand when the puzzle is already intact. Okay, you can understand what is the puzzle all about. But here is the catch. Now imagine that someone gives you hundreds of puzzle pieces and ask you to build a picture from the scratch. Scratch से आपको बोला गया कि picture बनाओ. That's much harder. Everything is a mess. You have to think, and then you start thinking where to fit which one, and then again, like you mismatch, you match it, again you mismatch, and then you build it, you dismantle it, again you build it and it dismantles. So that process is a little complicated. That's much harder. Speaking English works exactly the same way. When someone is speaking with you, okay, the sentence is already built. That sentence is already built in his mind, not in your mind. You simply recognize it. You only understand that, okay, right? So when it's your turn, basically, when you have to speak, okay, now what is happening? You have to build that sentence in your brain. And most people blame English. Let me tell you, okay, most people blame English. Actually, English isn't the problem. Okay, sentence creation is the problem. Your brain is trying to do too many things at the same time. Let me tell you what your brain is trying to do. Your brain is trying to think about the idea. Your brain is trying to choose the vocabulary. Okay, it is trying to remember the grammar also, which tense is perfect over here. Okay, it is again trying to arrange the sentence also. Okay, right? It is trying to pronounce the word also. You see, there are so many, almost 5 to 6 different tasks. And manage the fear of making mistakes is one of the biggest tasks, all of it. Within few seconds, you have to do all of these things. That's a heavy mental load. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Tell me, okay, if you agree with me, tell me, this is right, sir. This is absolutely right, that there are so many things that keeps on happening in our mind, and that is why it is a problem. let me tell you, understanding is one part and speaking is another part. Okay, and everybody knows that listening feels very easy, speaking is a difficult task. Okay, so when you are listening, okay, what is happening? There is no pressure at all. You're listening, there is no pressure. Okay, no one is waiting for your answer. Okay, your brain is relaxed and it has only one job: to understand. When your brain is trying to listen something, your brain only has one job, but the moment you have to speak, you have 5 jobs to do. That's why speaking feels very harder. म्हणून बोलणे हे नेहमी लोकांना डिफिकल्ट वाटू लागतं. Have you noticed something? That sometimes you know exactly what you want to say. Sometimes you know exactly what you really want to say, but the words doesn't come out easily. I'll tell you. But few moments later or few minutes later, when everything is over, suddenly the right sentence structure appears in your mind. Why does it happen? Because the pressure has disappeared. The pressure has disappeared. Your brain becomes relaxed again. Okay, your brain is now becoming relaxed again. That is why it happens. And majority of the people try to find out very wrong solution. Most people think that I need more vocabulary. They think like that. Okay, so they memorize hundreds and hundreds of words, new words, but during the next meeting they don't use even a single word. They again keep silent, because vocabulary wasn't the biggest problem. The pressure was the problem. Okay, we got to learn something from children. Listen this very carefully. Children don't start with perfect sentence. Have you ever noticed? Observe any kid. They never start with a complicated sentence. They never start with a perfect sentence also. Okay, they start with a very simple sentence. Broken sentences sometimes, incomplete sentences sometimes. Okay, and every conversation, I'll tell you, they make some or the other mistake, and that mistake teaches them basically to become little better next time. Adults expects exactly the opposite to it. They expect to speak perfect English from day one. That is the problem. That's unrealistic. Okay, so let's make one important shift over here. Stop measuring yourself by how perfectly you are speaking. Okay, start measuring yourself by how often you speak. आप कितनी बार बोलते हो ज़्यादा जरूरी है, कितना करेक्ट बोलते हो इससे भी ज़्यादा. So one conversation every day is very important. Okay, and that one conversation every day will teach you more than those 100 vocabularies which you have by hearted earlier or memorized earlier, right? So guys, today's challenge is, let me tell you, okay, today's challenge is don't learn 10 new words at all. Okay, I will tell you 10. Use those 10 words which you already know. Okay, and you will be surprised how much confidence comes from using what you already have. Okay, that is how it is. So understanding English proves that your brain already knows lot of words. Okay, now your brain's job isn't to collect more knowledge basically, but your job is to start using it. जो है उसको use करना start कर दो. Okay, right? So that is the end of this episode, guys. Thank you for listening. I hope this episode has added a lot of value to your knowledge. Please share this podcast with some of your friends, family members, and loved ones, so that whoever needs it, they get that feedback, they get that understanding, and they start improving their English from right today itself. Thank you so much, guys. This is Praveen signing off until I meet you in the next podcast. Bye-bye. Take care of yourself.